Day 2 of Reindeer Games.
Yay, yay, yay. Ho, ho, ho. I always want to say ho, ho, ho.
Jingle all the way.
Today is all about one of our favorite product lines, and that is Quilter Select. So whether or not you have used Quilter Select, we are here to show you some of the features of the wonderful products that they have, and hope that you'll consider adding them to your armament of quilting tools. So,
Definitely.
Marilyn.
So these are the classic Quilter Select rulers. They have measurements down and up both ways, which can be a little interesting to get used to at first if you're used to the old-fashioned rulers that only measured one way. But boy, does it ever save a lot of this kind of thing. They are, the lines are nice and fine. They have all the usual 60, 45, and 30 degree lines on the back. And the best feature about them is that they have a lovely non-slip surface on the back, so that if you're cutting a nice width of fabric with your nice 24-inch one, it will not fishtail all around. When it will stick to the fabric and you'll get a nice straight cut. And these are the 3 sizes that we're featuring in Reindeer Games: the 6x12, the 12 and a half, that's a 12 and a half by 12 and a half, and the 6x24. And I would say that these 3 are the 3 most useful sizes of rulers that you can have. Great for all kinds of quilting work.
If you've been in the shop, which I think many of you have been and many of you perhaps have not, however, we use the Quilter Select rulers on our cutting tables, and we just don't use anything else. And you can see as we're put the ruler down, just put a little bit of pressure, not a lot of pressure, and cut, and the fabric doesn't move. The fabric and the ruler will move on the mat if you want it to, but the fabric sticks to the ruler. It holds it nice and snug. So
great for if you have any issues with hand strength, your wrists, anything like that. It makes your cutting so much easier.
Speaking of that, cutting, we also have the Quilter Select cutters. They are a nice weight, and they are heavier than the plastic rulers. They are made of metal, and takes a little bit of getting used to for some people, but those of us that love them really love them a lot. So they are simple to use once you get used to them. So there's a button that you push, and then you just set the blade down, you release the button, and along you go on the mat. And then you close the blade just by that flick of the wrist. So very handy. They do use the OLFA blades or the LDH blades, which are both on our stocking stuffer special days from day 1. So they're compatible with other blade types. You can, but you don't need to use Quilter Select blades specifically. Very easy to change the blades as well. Just a little device on the back. The magnetic device in it that holds the blade while you're changing it. So we have the 60 millimeter, 45 millimeter, and the 28 millimeter size, all on for good prices.
And I know, again, for anybody that has any arm, wrist, hand issues, anything like that, the extra weight, I think, really helps a lot when you're cutting, doesn't it?
It does help, as we've had some people attest to here recently in our shop. They were concerned that the heaviness was going to be a problem, but it turned out to be an asset.
An advantage,
because it helped with not requiring so much pressure to be put onto the fabric. So with that, moving on to the newer rulers that Quilter Select has released within the last little while. These are the crystal clear series of rulers. So they have all the same features, the lines, fine lines, the numbers going in both ways, the angle markings, and the amazing non-slip coating. All of those features are the same. The only difference is that they are clear. So if you prefer to see the actual color of your fabric through the ruler, this is a useful type of ruler for you. They come in just 3 sizes here we have on Reindeer Games. The 5x5 inch, which is great for trimming up those charm squares or anything smaller than that. The 10x10 ruler, again, good for your layer cakes and any 10-inch squares that you're making. And then this one is a bit of a different size, 8.5 inches, so obviously larger than your 6, so gives you a bit more width to cut, and 18 inches long, so halfway between the 12 and the 24. So we'll still easily cut your folded width of fabric, and it's a little easier to transport to class and sew days than the longer 24-inch rulers. So those were some of
I find it amazing how often that extra 2.5 inches it comes in handy.
Yeah, on beyond the 6.
Yeah.
See, Marilyn got so excited. She
I know,
couldn't
I
even wait
jumped
to
right in.
share. Yeah, so there you go. 8.5, and the 18 is really, it's a nice size. It's not poking into you as you're
Yes.
having the cutting by the table as well. So that is the Quilter Select Crystal Clear rulers. A couple more items here we have. We have the ruler handle, which very popular with our quilters and our staff. Marilyn and I chose to leave it in the package because the best way to adhere it to the ruler is to lick it, so we've been told. Neither one of us wanted to demonstrate
weren't
that,
going to do
so
that, no.
we trust that if you choose to do that, that's the way it will stick the best. It is great because it allows you to pick up the ruler, move it around. It's especially good if you don't want to be getting your nails or have trouble getting your nails underneath the ruler.
Yeah, and
so.
these, they aren't kidding when they say they stick.
They do stick.
They can be difficult. You can just lift it right up off the fabric. Yeah.
And they're useful on all rulers, not just Quilter Select rulers. So we have the 60-degree triangle ruler in Quilter Select, and I think the fabulous thing about it is the non-slip coating. Because if you are dealing with cutting triangles and angles, you really don't want your ruler slipping. So the 60-degree ruler in itself is very useful because it allows you to make the equilateral triangle shape, and it also allows you to make other shapes as well, such as parallelograms and trapezoids.
And diamonds.
Those fun shapes. There's a very useful video on the Quilter Select website, which we'll link to, that you can have a look at as well. And we're going to be doing some work with 60-degree rulers, 60-degree patterns in the coming new year. So just wanted to give you a heads up that this might be a handy tool to have in your toolbox. Last but not least is the Quilter Select combination cutting mat on one side and wool mat on the other side. Now this is not just it's not just a case of slapping a cutting mat and a wool mat together. There's a very special heat resistant board, I guess, in here. So what I'm trying to say is don't use your own cutting mat and your wool mat on top of one another because you're going to have a warped cut mat.
Definitely.
But in this case, it is a very useful tool to have because you've got 2 in 1 if you're going to class or going to retreats, or if you have a sewing room at your cottage that you want to just take one device with you, then this is a really good really good tool to have. You can use it as a rotating cutting mat, just by rotating it on the wool side. So it makes it easy if you're trimming on multiple sides and you want to move it around. So it's very pretty turquoise color. One thing I will say about this is that the prices have increased, and they are increasing even more. So we do have a limited supply of these at the best price that they're going to be at. I was able to order some before the prices went up. So great product, great to have, great timing. So
Definitely. Lots of great tools.
Quilter Select, lots of videos that you can watch from our website on these products if you want to learn more about them. And happy Reindeer Games Day 2 shopping. We'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.